Ghosting is when somebody that you thought you knew disappears into thin air like a ghost. And we call ghosting the silent breakup. It's when you are in a relationship. I think about it in terms of romantic relationships because I'm a couples therapist, but it can totally happen with friendships too, or family. But it's when you are completely left in the dark in terms of what happened. So maybe somebody stops returning your texts, or they don't return your calls, or you email them and there's just no response. Sometimes it happens slowly, or there have been comments like, I'm just really busy, everything's fine, sorry I didn't get back to you quicker. It can kind of start that way and then slowly kind of peter out. And sometimes it's just totally out of the blue and random. But either way, when this happens, it leaves you feeling abandoned. You probably have a million questions. You just want to know why. You want to know what happened. You probably have things you want to say. Maybe you were thinking about breaking up with that person too, but you wanted to do it in a respectful, collaborative manner where you're having a conversation. And the worst part about ghosting is not having that opportunity, not having the opportunity to feel like you were there and you mattered and like you had a part to play in this dynamic, whatever it was. So what I'm going to do in this video is basically talk to you about what to do in both situations, right? The first one is when you've been ghosted, what to do when somebody that you care about just drops off the face of the earth and you're left in the aftermath. And the second part of the video, and I'll put timestamps on, the second part of the video is about what to do if you find yourself ghosting people. Chances are you don't feel good about it. Chances are you know that this is not kind of ideal communication, but there's reasons why people tend to ghost. And I can talk you through what are some alternatives and what are some things that might be happening that get in the way of open, respectful communication. Okay, so we're going to start with what to do when you're the one who was ghosted. And the first thing to do is to realize that this has to do more with them than with you. People aren't ghosted because there's something profoundly wrong with you. So we're all imperfect humans. I'm not saying you're perfect, but I'm saying this isn't 100% your fault. This isn't because you did something unforgivable that is too big to even talk about. Okay, that's not my belief. My belief is, yes, sometimes we have deal breakers, and if we cross somebody's deal breaker, that happens, and sometimes relationships end. Sometimes we don't stay in a relationship because it's not in our integrity. Like, we might need to make changes that go out of the bounds of the changes that we feel we want to make to stay in a relationship, or we just have irreconcilable differences in preferences, or different communication patterns. There's a million reasons why relationships end, okay? But ghosting isn't evidence that you are not okay as a human being. It feels that way. It feels horrible. It feels rotten. It feels like, am I seriously not even good enough for you to like tell me what's going on? Is it really that impossible for you to face me and look at me? The thing that I want you to walk away with today is realizing that it isn't about you. The ghosting itself is not about you. Okay, the relationship issues, you guys are together in that, and whatever you guys co-created. Yeah, of course, it takes two to tango. But the ghosting part, that's on the other person, okay? This is relational passive aggression. Ghosting is passive aggressive. There's no other way to candy coat that. It's not okay. It's not kind. It's disrespectful. It's simply not okay to ghost somebody unless there's an abusive situation and you're taking care of your safety. Okay, that goes above and beyond, and that can't go without saying. We always need to remind people, if there's a safety issue, yeah, ghosting is how you protect yourself and your family if you need to. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you need to break up and it's a hard conversation, and the person that you were dating or married to or had a crush on just simply like stops. If you have been ghosted, here's 3 concrete things I want you to focus on. Number 1, seek support from your loved ones, not from the ghost. Don't reach out to the ghost. It's only going to hurt you more. Okay. My guess is you've already tried to reach out to them. At this point, reach out to people you care about and who care about you. You can vent. You can talk through your feelings with that person. You can hang out. You can get distracted by going out to the movies or whatever you want to do. But seek support from your loved one. Do not chase the ghost. Do not try to get that reassurance from the person who is clearly unable to give it to you. It's going to only cause you more suffering. Okay. Number 2, practice self-care. Okay. Whatever the things are that make you feel good and beautiful and fabulous, do those things. If it's eating really healthy food, do that. If it's eating some junk food, do that. If it's exercising, if it's going for a massage, if it's taking a weekend getaway, if it's calling out sick, practice self-care. Nourish yourself when somebody has mistreated you, because that will get your focus off of if there's something wrong with you and realizing that you were not ghosted because there's something wrong with you. You realize, I'm going to just keep repeating this, you were ghosted because somebody didn't have the wherewithal to clearly and respectfully and directly express their feelings to you. That's not your fault. Okay. Number 3 is feel your own feelings instead of trying to figure out what your ghost was feeling. I'm calling them your ghost. So you might be angry, you might be hurt, you might be sad, you might be resentful. I don't know what feelings you're feeling, because there's really the gambit. You could still be feeling love, admiration. You could be concerned. You could be feeling like worried. Is my ghost okay? You might be feeling lonely. Any number of feelings that you might be feeling. The issue that's going to help you heal from being ghosted is to focus on your own feelings instead of trying to figure out what the heck your ghost was feeling, is feeling, or will feel in the future. Okay? It's tempting to go around and around in your brain and think about what questions you have. You might go back and forth and think about what things that you wanted to say. Did they fall in love with somebody else? Do they think you're unattractive? It doesn't matter. I mean, of course it matters because your feelings are valid, but it's like they couldn't tell you that. So they're not, I almost want to say they're not worth it, and I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they'll figure out what's going on and come around. But you focusing on how they feel when they aren't able to express it, that's their work to figure out and improve their ability and capacity to express their feelings. Is not your job to be some kind of private investigator figuring out what they actually felt. And the more that you're focusing on your ghost's feelings, past, present, and future, like in the Christmas Carol, the more you focus on your own feelings, you're going to actually go through the grief process, which will make it possible for you to be ready for another relationship or more deep friendships or whatever future is up for you. If you focus on your ghost's feelings, it's going to be you're going to be going down a maze that you're never going to feel satisfied when you get to the end of it, right? Because there isn't going to be an answer, because only your ghost knows what they're feeling, and they're not communicating it to you. Okay, so that's what to do if you have been ghosted. Now I want to talk to you about what to do if you are the ghost. And I don't mean this to be pejorative, right? Like, we all can feel the impulse to avoid difficult conversations because nobody likes hurting people's feelings. And usually you're probably ghosting somebody not because you're a jerk or a monster, but you're ghosting somebody because you don't know what to say, or you don't want to hurt their feelings, and the avoidance makes it worse, right? So the more that you avoid a difficult conversation, the bigger that conversation feels, and the more questions you're going to have to that have gone unanswered. And then not only did you not talk about the very first thing that came up, that person, whether it's your ex partner or friend or what have you, the more that you avoid it, then you also have the hurt feelings about the avoidance piled on to the original thing that was whatever the conflict was that you were avoiding. Okay. So what I want to talk to you about is what to do if you're the kind of person who really is tempted to just kind of turn and walk away and abandon, and maybe leave somebody in the dust, maybe leave somebody that's really wonderful. Maybe you've walked away from healthy relationships, or maybe you have taken care of yourself by leaving an unhealthy relationship, but you don't feel so fabulous about how you handled it. Okay, so here are the 3 things for you guys to do. Number 1 is to turn to the experts. Okay, get some solid information about, like, what are some recommendations out there about how to break up with somebody. There's a reason why so many country songs are about breaking up, and how many reality TV shows there are about how to kind of reject somebody and all of that. Okay, so the good news about that is that there means that experts such as myself or other relationship experts really will have content out there about what to do if you need to break up with somebody and how to do it, showing up as your best self. Okay. Number 2 is brush up on your communication skills. So this is not just about how to break up with somebody. It's how to communicate in the first place when there's something that you're not so happy about. So conflict avoidance is usually the precedent to passive aggression. And conflict avoidance can be really, really functional. We don't have to fight about every single thing. There are times where it really does make sense to just bite your tongue. However, if you are somebody who has been accused of ghosting, my guess is, I'd put money on it, that you're more of a conflict avoidant personality style. Get some concrete skills about how to speak up and ask for what you need, how to respond to your partner when they ask for what they need. You can check out some of my other YouTube videos and blog posts about how to actually manage differences effectively in a relationship. Okay. And then once you have those solid communication skills, what's going to happen is you have a much better back and forth dialogue with your partner. And then as issues raise, you either address them or you decide not to, but it's more collaborative, and you and your partner are making decisions together about, whether some of the issues in your relationship are resolvable or not. And then each of you gets to be a part in deciding what to do next. Okay. Number 3 is to face your fear. So the only way to face our fear, the only way to overcome our fear is to walk toward it instead of away from it. So there's some reason why you are not texting that person back, not picking up the phone and calling, or avoiding places where you know that person will be. And that's because you're afraid of something. You're afraid of hurting their feelings. Maybe you're afraid that you'll be humiliated or rejected, and you kind of want to save yourself first. Okay. I don't know what your fear is, but if you're ghosting, there's some fear that you're not facing. Okay. So that's what to do if you're ghosted. That's what to do if you are ghosting. Also, just have fun and connect with the people that are showing up for you in a way that really works for you. Okay? Thanks for watching my video. Let me know in the comments if there's any specific other videos that you think would be useful. All right, have a great day.